We live in a time that destroys many things. Maybe the metaphor of a chainsaw would be very appropriate. Sort of the chainsaw in the sense of destroys liberal values, destroys achievements of feminism, destroys climate policies. And it's sort of the chainsaw that now makes the decision. It's either you are in this team or you are in that team. It's a polarized world. It's a polarized world of executive orders, right? Sort of, this is it. And I think culture can really work as an antidote in that way. Sort of can create a room where you may be engaged in a type of uncertainty sometimes. And for me, that is art. I'm Kathrin Maurer. I'm professor for culture and technology at the University of Southern Denmark. And I'm also the leader for the Center for Culture and Technology at the same university. I'm from Freiburg in Germany and have lived in the US for 14 years and have come to Denmark in 2008. So if I deal with literature or with visual culture or with films, then I like the films the best that maybe don't give the answers right away, sort of that put me into this form of hermeneutic hovering, of not being really sure. But I think that state of uncertainty, ambivalence is sometimes very important to counteract that feeling or that kind of zeitgeist of polarization and of sort of decisionism. In that way, I also think culture has an important value in the sense, again, it's about the process. You go out of your own comfort zone and you go out and learn something different that you not have experienced before, that wasn't customized for you on your Netflix stream, that doesn't sort of really fit into your own echo chamber or in your own bubble, but that you go out of your comfort zone and try to understand a different perspective. Yeah. I think I would prefer to draw an example from visual arts. I went to the Biennale in Venice the last year, and the sort of label for the Biennale was Strangers Everywhere. And they had a lot of indigenous art and art by immigrants and art by artists that were not very much established in the sort of new, in the art canon. And it really sort of pushed me towards getting out of my own comfort zone to understand this type of aesthetics, to retrain my own eye to see what is art and what do I expect from an artist and how do I make sense. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And I think that was really an eye-opening experience for me. And I have a background in German literature, and in that way I have done a lot of studies on Goethe, and he's usually sort of the national icon for German literature, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. But he was in fact one of the first that came up with the idea of world literature, with the idea that literature is not so much about the national canon, it's about really pushing boundaries and bridging to other cultures and learning from other cultures. And that also has influenced my research, that kind of attitude towards culture. I'm not interested so much in national philologies or into defining the national in my culture. Culture for me really comes from the word cultura, which is to create something, to sort of take care of something, to shape something. It actually comes from the agricultural field, to till a field, to take care of a field. And in that way, culture for me is a constant process. It's something we are never finished with. It's a constant process of transformation and of change and of innovation. Coming back to my research and also the work that I do at the center, I think it's important to see that culture always comes in a context, and that the technologies we develop, for example, AI or facial recognition, they are made by humans and they reflect the world we live in. For example, there are facial recognition technologies that do not work very good on people of color. Why? Well, because white people designed it and they didn't feed the data into the algorithms of people, of images of people of color, so the technology cannot recognize it. In that way, there's always sort of a context about technology. There's always the human in the loop in that way. Or if you ask an AI image program, make an image of a professor, then often it gives you the image of a white older man with glasses. So technology is always biased. It's not just an instrument and an apparatus. It's always about discourses also. It's about power. It's about culture, yeah? And that is something I worked particularly with when I worked on drones, right? And sort of to show this cultural embeddedness of technology. And furthermore, actually, that technology makes our worlds. It's not just this tool, it makes our worlds. I mean, think about how cars shaped our world, but vice versa also how, for example, technological imaginaries in science fiction also really shaped then the development of technologies. Yeah, I mean, Star Trek and all this sort of video conferencing and voice assisting is something that perhaps also inspired engineers. So there is this mutual sort of connection with technology and culture. Yeah, it's enmeshed.